Hello, and welcome to the City of West Covina Parks and Recreation Master Plan Workshop 4. My name is Zachary Meading, and I'll guide you through this presentation. The purpose of the Park and Recreation Master Plan is to develop a roadmap for the future development of parks and recreation facilities and programs within the city. It's based on local community needs to identify exactly what the West Covina community is looking for. The process is broken down into 5 stages. First, a review of the existing conditions, an extensive community engagement process, then the needs assessment, followed by recommendations and funding and implementation. In just over a year-long process, we'll go through the entire inventory of all the facilities, an extensive community outreach and engagement process to listen to the community, to hear what they're looking for and what can be developed now and in the future for the City of West Covina. Some of the information we look at includes the city demographics. We look at the age profile, population size, as well as distribution of those age groups across the entire community. As part of our background research, we look at an inventory of all of the park's facilities, including the amenities, what exists today, in what condition, where is it located, as well as all the programs that have been offered for the last 2 years to the community. We take that information and we develop a series of mapping analysis. We look at the number of parkland versus the number of residents. We look at the distribution of parks and facilities, where residents live, and how far it is for them to walk to a park. That analysis is then broken down to several different parts. We look at each neighborhood park type, each park facility, what is the walking distance between each one of those, what is the travel distance where community members actually travel in from outside of the community, a park sphere of influence, if you will, as well as where did we hear some of the improvements from the community workshops and how those might relate specifically to parks in that area. In order to hear from the community, we conducted an extensive community engagement process for the City of West Covina that included stakeholder interviews, a statistically valid multimodal survey, in-person workshops, as well as online workshops, and lastly, a community feedback website, 24/7, where people can share their thoughts and ideas online at any point in time directly with the planning team. The participation in the community outreach came from over 2,700 website views, more than 300 feedback submittals, more than 300 participants for the workshop events, as well as a multimodal survey which totaled 1,200 participants, representative of 400 households. As we collect data from the multimodal survey or the workshops or even the feedback information, we record the location where it came from, so that way we can see where information is coming from and what the community residents desire for that specific area or the park system in general. This helps us map strategic recommendations for the community. As we collected data throughout this process, we shared it in feedback videos as well as in workshops. You can see here just a number of elements that we had collected are all combined together and then ultimately compared to see what some of the top key elements the community is looking for in terms of facilities and programs. All of that data is pulled together and then reviewed by our planning team. Some of those community prioritizations for the program needs came from small group interviews, all of the community workshops at large, including the feedback comments, and the statistically valid multimodal survey. Those elements include art classes and programs, community events, fitness, exercise, and wellness classes, senior programs and activities, youth programs, marketing programs, equestrian programs, and several others that are all listed here on the left-hand side of the screen. As we collected the data, we recorded how many times we heard it and in what mode. This identifies some of the most frequently heard items, apparent heard items, as well as identified items. As part of the community process, we prioritize all of those elements that have come up multiple times in multiple events. And what we see here are the most frequent elements that have come up across the prioritization process, including more community events, more fitness, exercise, and wellness classes, more senior programs and activities, as well as more youth programs. This does not discount all of the other elements that we've heard, simply identifying some of the most commonly requested elements. That same process was done for the facility needs, where we collected information from the small groups, the community at large public surveys, workshops, and feedbacks, as well as a multimodal survey. We heard elements such as dog park, maintenance, pickleball courts, playground improvements, restroom improvements, walking paths or trails, outdoor exercise stations, softball fields, baseball fields, shade, and soccer fields, as well as several others. When we look back across how many times we heard elements in various different scenarios, how often they came up in the public participation process, we recorded that information and came up with the most frequently heard items such as dog park, park maintenance, pickleball courts, playground improvements, restroom improvements, security lighting, splash pad, water play, swimming pool, as well as walking paths and trails. Some of the apparent items that came up included softball fields, as well as many other items identified on the chart on the left. Based on all of the outreach information that we collected during the process, we developed key strategies and recommendations. 3 specific key strategies have been developed for the City of West Covina. Key Strategy 1 is to maintain and modernize the park system. Key Strategy 2 is to expand and upgrade recreation amenities citywide. Key Strategy 3 is to enrich community life through programs, events, and wellness. With these 3 key strategies, the city can continue forward into the future in developing parks and recreation facilities and programs for the entire community. Within each of those key strategies, we identify specific goals and objectives, tangible elements that the city can move forward with in support of those key strategies and development of community recreation facilities and programs. Specific elements identified in Key Strategy 1, maintain and modernize the park system, include increase in park maintenance, restroom improvements, as well as security lighting in parks. Specific goals identified within Key Strategy 2, expand and upgrade recreation amenities, include development of a dog park, pickleball court expansion, playground improvements, new softball fields, splash pad, water play, and swimming pool elements, as well as walking path and trails. Specific goals identified in Key Strategy number 3, enrich community life through programs, events, and wellness, include community events, fitness, exercise, and wellness classes, more senior programs and activities, and more youth programs. Over the past year, and all of the information we've collected from the community has resulted in these key strategies and supporting goals. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and ideas on what we've presented here tonight, so that way we can continue the development of parks and recreation here in the city of West Covina. I encourage everyone to scan the QR code or click the link below and share your thoughts and ideas on what you've heard, as well as if you have any additional elements or comments on the process and the future of parks and recreation within the city. Please make sure to visit westcovinaparksmasterplan.com to follow along on all the information we've collected, as well as attend the meeting on August 18th for the final master plan presentation. Thank you for watching this video presentation. I look forward to continuing to hear all of your thoughts and ideas on the future of West Covina Parks and Recreation.